Hi everyone, here we are, Shelter at Home Class 2. Marilee, let's lie on your mat and we're just gonna lie flat back to get started today. So just reach your arms overhead, stretch your toes out nice and long. It's just to feel good, to bring yourself into your space. So close your eyes. Yes, find a big breath in, find a long reach, extend through your toes. And on the exhale, hug your knees up into your chest. And then let's do that again. Reach the arms overhead, stretch the toes out, breathe in, open through the chest. On the exhale, round and tuck it. Pull it in a little bit tighter on each one. We have two more. Inhaling, let's find the reach, extend it, lengthen through the toes. And exhale, we'll tuck it up. Yeah, a little bit more. And one more time, let's breathe it in, open it up, find the reach. And on this exhale, pull those knees in, strong. Squeeze the thighs a little bit. We're gonna hold on to the knees and just make a circle on the ceiling. So just one big circle, one direction, and we're just massaging the spine into the floor. So big circle, we'll reverse it. Let's take it the other way. Circling all the way around. Beautiful. And then go ahead and hold one hand to each knee and just straddle the knees out wide. And we're gonna pull the knees up with some energy from your arm strength into your shoulders. Point your toes and circle around through your ankles. Big circles, both directions. And we'll find point and flex. So we'll extend the toes out, getting along through the top of the feet. Flexion, we'll bring the toes in and then go ahead and point it. We're still pulling those knees in strong and flex it. And one more time, point it out and find the flexion. Nice. We'll squeeze the thighs back together and we'll flex the toes in. And then go ahead and drop your arms out to the sides. Let your palms drop to the floor. Let your shoulder blades drop into the floor and then extend a little energy through your fingertips. See if you can feel the floor with your knuckles a little bit. We're gonna press down through your low spine. Find a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, it's a 4 count. We're gonna take the lower body to the right side for 4, nice and slow. For 3, because we're just warming up. For 2, if it feels better to just keep it halfway, you can stay halfway. If it feels good, let your body weight drop to the floor. And then see if you can reach a little bit through that opposite arm and let that left shoulder blade drop down. And then we'll bring it back on that same 4 count for 4, 3, 2. Let's breathe in, and as you exhale, we'll take it over to your left side for 4, 3, we're staying active through the toes. For 2, if it feels good, we're gonna release it down. Let your right shoulder blade press into the floor. We're extending through the fingertips. And we'll bring it back for 4, 3, 2. Now let's hug your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg straight out without dropping it to the floor. We're gonna engage through that left glute, and then I want you to lift your upper body and drive your nose in towards your knee. So we're pushing down through the low spine. We're starting to turn on the abdominals a little bit. We're gonna alternate that knee tuck in. So go ahead and make it a crunch. We'll lower down and then catch that left knee and extend it out. Let's find the exhales as we lift. Here we go. Drive it up. Beautiful. And lift it. Let's find 8 more here. For 8, there's a pause at the top so that you give the abdominals. 7, an opportunity to do the work. 6, nice. 5, so if you're starting to lift higher and you're more flexible, you can catch the inside and outer edges of your feet. For 4, find the reach on it. For 3, for 2, and find that long stretch that we started with. Beautiful. So we'll just reach it out, and then we're going to turn over onto your belly. And we're going to create a little space here, a little length. So go ahead and reach your arms out in front of you and extend your toes back nice and long. And then we're going to lift the lower body. We're going to squeeze the glutes first, and then we'll lift the thighs. So glutes are on, that's protecting the low back. Thighs are on, we're squeezing through the quads. Toes are reaching, there's energy through the tips of the toes. And then we're going to lift the chest up. So go ahead and lift the chest, Mare. Lift the arms up now. Let the thumbs come up to the sky. And then we're going to look down so that you have a nice long neutral neck. So go ahead and look down even a little bit more. Let the top of your head shine out to the floor. And then let's lift it all up together for 5. Yeah, keep lifting for 4. Keep the energy through the fingertips. 3, 2. And we'll take a seat back into your child's pose. So child's pose, we'll bring the knees out as wide as it feels good. So you really want to get inside the hip flexors. So we're separating the knees out. We're gonna reach out long through those fingertips, and then let your head relax. And just relax through your arms a little bit here. So bend your elbows and release through your shoulders. And let your chest drop into the floor. And for a moment right now, we're gonna keep our mouth closed and we're gonna breathe Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi, full, long, deep inhales and exhales. And Ujjayi has a really nice way of just calming the nervous system, allowing yourself to just feel your rib cage move. And then I want you to take a moment with your eyes closed to set an intention for your practice. So what would you like to get out of your practice today on your mat? And then we're gonna take the whole upper body over to the left side. So go ahead and lift your head and chest up and walk your fingertips to the left. And you're going out as far left as it feels good, and I want you to work the floor. So use the leverage of the floor to find the pull from that right rib cage along that right shoulder, up into that right tricep, and even into your low back. And then we'll lift that up and we'll take it over to the right side. Let's find a nice deep breath in before you drop. On the exhale, we'll let the chest drop, let the fingertips reach. We're breathing into the left ribs. We're getting long through that left shoulder. And then let's take that side to side. So we're gonna use that kind of in a, almost like a rhythmic kind of movement where we just reach out and allow yourself to keep getting longer and longer as you reach to feel just a little bit more. You don't have to drop it down so low if that doesn't feel good in your shoulders, if you're really tight. But once you start to get warm, it should feel really nice up into the deltoids. Beautiful. And then we'll come back center and we're gonna press up onto the hands and knees. So let's bring the knees under the hips. We'll bring the wrists under the shoulders. We're gonna spread the fingers nice and wide. We're gonna line the middle fingers up with your shoulders, and then we'll come up onto the balls of the feet. We're gonna press back through the heels. So there's a lot of energy through the toes on this one if you are not dealing with a toe injury. So Marilee is gonna modify some things. So if you are feeling strong in your toes, I really want you to exaggerate through pushing through the balls of the feet so that you can find some mobility into your toes and into the arches of your feet. We're gonna take your elbows and turn them to the back wall. We're exaggerating a little bit through your sit bones, so we're gonna push back through your butt bones. So this is a real active pose. We're driving energy down through your palms and bringing your chest away from the floor. And then we're just gonna lift the knees up just a little bit right here. So the knees are slightly off the floor. And we're gonna breathe into it for 5, for 3, for 2, and then we'll come into that long down dog. Where you find the length, take a step back, let your head drop down nice and low, let your seat drive up towards the sky. And we're gonna say a slow motion no, so nice and easy. Head is turning side to side. Let's say an easy yes, so we'll lift the head up, nice and slow. Find a breath in, and as you exhale, tuck your chin in towards your chest. And let's do that again. Lift the head up, breathe it in. And as you exhale, tuck it in. And then let the head be just relaxed where it feels good. We're gonna come back down. Knees are underneath your hips. We're up onto the toes. Middle fingers are gonna turn in towards your knees as we peel back through your forearms and open up through your wrists. So if this is too much, you can certainly modify. You can have your hands just as far back as it feels good. Maybe you're only going about 45 degrees. If it feels like you can turn it all the way in, I'd like you to try and go for that deep stretch, especially because we spend a lot of time on the, typing on the computers, on these iPhones. So we're opening up the little muscles in the hands. And now staying on the toes, we're gonna peel the palms back. We're gonna come up onto the fingertips. And while you're doing that, I want you to separate your fingers more and more so that you can create the space inside of your hands as well. And we'll go one more. Beautiful. Now we'll turn the middle fingers in towards each other. And then let's lift the knees up again. So go ahead and push yourself away from the floor. We're breathing here. We're tucking up through the pelvis for 5, for 3, for 2. Then we'll turn the fingers forward and we'll take that step back again. And the feet are as wide as the hips. You can always check out middle fingers and shoulders line up. Elbows are turning to the back wall. The seat drives high and the head is dropping low. And then let's just go ahead and lift your heels up, Mira. I'm going to walk out of this. So go ahead and lift your heels up. Yeah, we're on the tippy toes. Find a breath in. And as you exhale, relax them down. And then inhale, take them up. And exhale, lower it down. And one more time, let's go ahead and take that lift up. And then relax them down. We're going to stretch your right leg up to the sky. Bend that knee, flex that foot. So flexion is toes in towards the kneecap. Roll it open. Yeah, we're going to take that heel and push it strong to the side wall. So she's got that heel curling in towards her. That's turning on that hamstring and that glute. And I want you to have a nice active leg. So no lazy legs here. Right foot comes to the floor. Left leg is going to get high. So as we bend the knee, we flex the toes in and then open it up. So she's taking that heel. There's a lot of energy pressing through. Yeah, pushing to that side wall. And we're breathing into that whole psoas and the length of that quad. And we'll bring the left foot down to the floor. And then let's come back down onto your hands and knees and reverse that stretch. So we opened up through the wrist. Let's take one hand and flip it over. Just a little bit of body weight, as much in there as it feels good to reverse the stretch for yourself. And then switch sides. Go ahead and take that on the other side. Very nice. And then flip that back over and come up onto your knees. Let's make a figure eight. So we're going to go ahead and just move through the wrists, nice and strong. I want you to engage through your glutes here so that you're protecting your low back. So again, no lazy butt cheeks, right? Glutes are on. And then we'll keep the fingertips to the sky. We're going to take your right hand and catch your left wrist and pull that left arm up. Pull up out of that shoulder, breathe in. And as you exhale, we'll pull over to the right side. Let your chin drop where it feels good and let the left rib cage kind of shine up towards the corner of the room, and then we'll come back center. Switch the grip, find the breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to reach to the left side and peel back through the right ribs. And then we'll come back center. Go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your back. And then let your shoulders drop down away from your ears and just lengthen. So right now, she's not even bringing her arms away from the body. She's just lengthening through the biceps. That's really beautiful. Let's stay here and drop your chin in towards your chest. So we'll find a little length through your neck. So as you lower your chin in towards your chest, you'll create that length through your cervical spine. So we'll get a nice little stretch up in here. And then the chin is neutral, so neutral center. Now find a breath in, and as you exhale, just reach your arms back. Yeah, to the back wall. So in this one, we're really going into the pecs and the shoulders. So if you're really tight, you can always grab a little towel, a little washcloth, or a strap, and you can hold on one hand and then the other. If you know that you're tight in your shoulders, hopefully you have a strap or a little washcloth with you, and you can just have that alongside of you and hold on to it as far apart as you need to get that stretch. So now we're going to take a step up. We're going to keep the arms where they are, and we're going to step one foot up at a time to the front of your mat. We're going to keep your heels underneath your hips, and then let's lift your chest up. We'll find a breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and fold forward. Yeah, allowing your seat to press back. You're going to straighten your legs only as far as it feels good. So if it feels better, bend your knees a lot. You can let your chest rest on your thighs like merrily here, or straighten your legs, if that feels better, and exaggerate through the seat. Let's say a slow motion no. So we'll keep the arms where they are and just turn the head slow and easy side to side. So as you're folded, I want you to give yourself the gift of staying real relaxed through the neck. We're going to drop your palms flat onto your shins, and we're going to lift up and find that long spine. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Go ahead and catch on. Yeah, so you can grab your forearms behind your calves and use that as your leverage. You can grab your ankles. Let's do that again. We'll lift halfway up. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. As you exhale, find the fold in. One more time. Let's take the lift. Create the space. Inhaling. On the exhale, let's find a strong hug here. We're going to let your breath flow. We're here for 5. Keep pulling it in. Stay there. Stay on it for 4. Maybe your legs can straighten a little more while you're here. 3. Maybe you're pushing back a little bit more through your hamstrings and your glutes. For 2. And then we'll bring the fingertips outside of your baby toes. And we're going to step back on the ball of your right foot. So go ahead and give yourself a little lunge. Yeah, we're gonna drop down through your left seat. So here we're just in a nice runner's lunge, and we're gonna stay real still, so don't bounce it. We're gonna get real still in the pose. We're gonna keep turning that right hip just a little bit. And I want you to make sure that there's no body weight through that left knee, and then we're gonna come on up into your crescent lunge. Go ahead and reach the arms up, overhead. Beautiful. So you can keep the hands separated, and we'll spread the fingers nice and wide, and we're just gonna find mobility through the shoulders. So we're not leaning in the low back, we're just gonna move the arms back. Yeah, if there's a little more to be had there. And we're engaged through that back glute, and we're gonna keep that left knee right on top of that left ankle. Let's drop the right palm down inside of your left foot, and we'll reach the left arm up to the sky. We're just gonna stack that left rib cage on top of the right. So as we inhale, we'll reach up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, roll open. Every breath has a purpose into the pose. Inhale, find the lift. Exhale, roll it open. Very nice. One more time. Breathing in, take it up. As you exhale, open it here. Let your left fingertips reach to the front wall. Let your left palm shine to the floor. Yeah, now we create a little space and length for 5, for 3, for 2, and go ahead and find that left hand down outside of your left foot. Step your right foot up across from your left. And let's find the lunge on the other side. So we'll step that left foot back, slide it back as far as it feels good for you. We're gonna turn that left hip down towards the floor. We're breathing into that right glute. We'll come on up into your crescent. So if you're modifying, you can always drop that back knee if you need to. We're spreading the fingertips nice and wide, and we're gonna bring the thumbs towards the back wall. We're opening up a little bit through the shoulders without leaning in the low back. We're staying engaged through the left glute, which protects your back, nice and strong. Right knee staying stacked. That looks beautiful. Let's breathe in as you touch the ceiling, and as you exhale, left hand drops, and the right arm reaches open. And this is where we start to rotate. On the inhales, we touch the sky, so come up out of that right shoulder. On the exhale, let that rib cage breathe open. Yeah, inhale, find lift. Exhale, roll it back. Nice. Inhale, breathe it tall. Exhale, rotate it a little more. Let's reach the fingertips out overhead towards the front wall. Yeah, let your breath flow here for 5. We're breathing into it for 4. We're keeping that right knee staying in line with the toes for 3. For 2. Now we'll drop that right hand outside of your right foot and step back into your high plank. I notice, Mary, you keep that on the inside. So remember, you can keep it on the inside if you're not as flexible. Keep it on the outside if you are. I want you to think about being able to keep it on the outside. Let's tuck the pelvis up a little bit. We're squeezing through the thighs. We're pushing energy through the toes. We're driving the chest away from the floor. Let's bring the knees to the floor. We're going to keep the hips nice and flat. So we're going to find our first modified chaturanga. Let's lower down, tucking the elbows in. We're keeping them stacked on top of the wrists. Yeah, and we're going to find the low so that the shoulders, yeah, come in line with the elbows. So this is a lot of work, actually. She's got her abdominals on nice and strong. Her triceps are doing a lot of work. If you needed to modify even more, merely stay there, but bring your pelvis to the floor. Don't let your shoulders drop. So I'd like you to do it that way rather than letting your shoulders jam to the floor. And then you can lower your chest all the way down to the floor. And then you can find your modified up dog. Come on up and straighten the arms. Glutes are engaged. We're pulling the shoulders. Yeah, the shoulder blades are coming together, right? So we're opening up. So we're reversing all that stuff we do all day. I really want you to think about getting inside there. And then from the knees to your toes, find your down dog. That's a real beautiful way, if you have back issues, to come into a modified version of your chaturanga as we flow. We're in downward facing dog. And for the first time, we're just going to take little baby steps with a very slight bend in your knees, and we're going to walk your toes all the way up to your wrists, one little step at a time. Yeah, and we'll bring the feet together. Insides of the feet touch each other. And then let's lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, forward fold, dive in nice and strong. On the inhale, touch the side walls to the ceiling. Breathe in high. On the exhale, forward fold. We're coming down nice and low. Halfway lift. We'll breathe in here. Step back to your high plank. And we're going to find a full chaturanga on this one if you're ready. So let's lower down. The toes walk up a little bit. The shoulders are in line. Yes, Very nice. Now 1 foot at a time, we're coming into up dog, 1 foot, and we'll pull the shoulder blades together. Downward facing dog, 1 foot at a time. The head drops low and the seat drives high. And we got our full, long, deep breaths. So on this one, we're going to find straight leg lifts as we take one little step up at a time. So 1 step, yeah, kick it up. 1 step, lengthen it up. It's just a nice variation to switch it up until your toes get all the way up to your wrists. And if you're really tight, you don't have to do the straight leg lift. You could do the baby steps. Till the feet are together at the front of your mat, we'll find a lift halfway. Let's breathe in. And as you exhale, forward fold, we're going to dive in nice and tight. On the inhale, let's touch the sky. Come on up high, mare. Squeeze the thighs. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to flow. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in. Find your high plank. Step or jump back. Chaturanga, we're going to lower down. Take a pause here because it's worth it. Up dog, we're breathing in. Pull the shoulder blades together. Chaturanga now, if you feel stronger, add that added chaturanga. Skip it if you don't like it. Downward facing dog, or breathe in. The seat is high and the head drops low and the elbows are turning in. We'll bend the knees and make your way up to the front of your mat. Find a lift halfway. We're going to breathe in. On the exhale, forward fold. On the inhale, chair pose. So let's drop the squat. So right now, chair pose, I want you to look down and make sure that your toes are visible. And that's going to let you know that your knees are not coming forward of your toes. I want you to squeeze your thighs together so strong that you feel the energy through your quads. We're creating electricity through the fingertips, and we're tucking the pelvis a little bit, keeping that neutral spine. Yeah, that's beautiful. Let's breathe in, and as you exhale, forward fold, we're going to dive down. Halfway lift, we'll lengthen the spine. Step or jump back to your high plank. Let's point your right toes to the wall behind you. It's a 4 count. We're going to lower down for 4, 3, 2. Let's stay right here and find 4 little push-ups for 4, 3, 2. The whole body's going with her. 1 more. Take a pause. Drop that right foot. Up dog. Let's breathe in. Pull the shoulder blades together. Stay with me on this one. Chaturanga. We're going to pause. It's a 4 count to come to your high plank. Push it up for 4, 3, 2. We're in a high. Left toes are going to point back. Now we're going to lower down for 4, 3, 2, take that pause. It's 4 little push-ups. If you're modifying, the right knee can come to the floor. 3, 2, take a pause right here. Drop that left foot. Up dog, we'll breathe it in. Bring the shoulder blades together. Chaturanga, we'll come back to the work. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Nicely done. Right leg comes to the sky. Right foot lunges, left foot turns. Warrior 1, we're going to come on up. Warrior 1. So we'll turn that left hip a little bit forward. We're engaged through that left quad right now, and there's energy through the edge of your left foot. So I want you to feel that. We're back leg loaded, so push through the edge of that left foot. And then go ahead and reach your right arm out in front of you and bring your left arm under your right. And we're in eagle arms right now. So if that doesn't work for you, you can bring forearm to forearm together. So you can work it that way and squeeze it, closing up the elbows. Wherever you are, make sure you're not here. So don't rest your arms down into your chest. It's a real active pose inside of the shoulders. So I want you to start to feel a burn in those shoulders as you're lifting your elbows, and we're keeping them square out to the wall that's in front of you. So it should feel like a lot of work that you're doing to lift those arms up rather than just kind of hanging out and waiting for the pose. I see this a lot in class, just kind of waiting for the next cue. But this is the work. We're in it, right? We're squeezing through that left quad, and that looks really nice. And now we're going to pivot onto the ball of that left foot. So you can hop up onto it, yeah, and turn that left hip forward. And we're still doing the work to lift the elbows up. And now we're going to bring the left knee real close to the floor. So left knee is going to come maybe an inch away from the floor. We're still staying back leg loaded. And while we're lifting those elbows out of the chest, just the lower body is going to find a lunge. So we're going to lift and lower for 8, 7. We're engaged through that back glute. 6, 5, 4. Abdominals are on. 3. So we're contracting through the abdominals for 2. Let's take a pause right here. So all we're going to do is bring the torso on an angle, lean forward. So now she's loading up through that back leg. to push off the ball of that left foot into lower body warrior 3. Arms will stay in eagle. So as we press up, we got to use the core. We're flexing the toes in. We're turning that left hip down. That's nice, Mary. We're engaged through that right quad, so that standing leg. For 5, looks real strong. 4, the upper body's going to unravel into warrior 3. Let's complete it. Middle fingers are out to the front wall. From the shoulders to the hips, we're looking for a nice long lengthening table here. And then I want you to lift the limbs up. So lift the arms up a little bit. Yeah, lift that left leg up. Let that left hip turn down. For 5, warrior 3, it's a badass pose if you're in it and you're doing the work. For 2, chair pose, let's drop the seat. Nice. Squeeze the thighs, feet are together, quads are on. Let's breathe in as you exhale, forward fold, dive in nice and tight. Halfway lift, we'll breathe in here. Step or jump back to your high plank. We're down on the forearms in a forearm plank position. So let's make 2 fists. We'll bring the wrists in line with your elbows. We're going to tuck up through the pelvis. We're going to squeeze through the thighs. And then we're just going to take a little march right here. So we're going to straight leg lift. Yeah, and we're marching right off the balls of the feet. We're still driving energy down through the forearms, so I want you to feel that upper body staying strong. We're squeezing through the glutes. We're tucking up through the belly button a little bit. We're here for 10, 9. Let's work it out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Hold the strong plank. Hold the plank. 1 palm at a time. Let's come up. We're in a high plank. So we're going to try and control those hips and not let them move so much. 1 forearm at a time. We're going to come down real light. Yeah, we're going to stay in tune with controlling your hips as you do it. 1 palm at a time. Wrists are under the shoulders. We're up. High plank. 1 forearm at a time. We're going to come down nice and slow. And then 2 more times. Let's take the palms, push it up strong and feel, squeeze through those quads and forearms. Easy as we lower down because we're putting that all in the abdominal strength. Palms were coming up, strong, drive away. Forearms were coming down with the control. Let's hold it right here for 8, tuck the pelvis. 7, squeeze the thighs. 6, 5, 4, 3, palms were back up, and chaturanga, we're down easy. 4 little push-ups. Let's get stronger for 4, 3, you got it. For 2, up dog on the breath in. You could skip those push-ups if it's too much. Chaturanga, come back into it or skip it. Hold it. 5, 4, if you're skipping, you're already in down dog. 3, 2, we're in downward facing dog, and she's breathing. Very nice. So if you're doing this with a partner, it would be nice for someone to just come on up and give you a little love. Does that feel good, Mare? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just lifting up and lengthening. It's really nice to create a little space in that lumbar. And let your breath just come back into its natural rhythm of Ujjayi. And then go ahead and stretch that left leg up to the sky. Left leg gets high. Left foot lunges, right foot turns. Warrior 1, we're coming up. Loading up that back leg, squeezing through that right thigh, that right quad. There's energy through the edge of her foot. She's driving that right hip forward. So I want you to think about constantly trying to square the chest off to the wall that's in front of you. Think about where your mobility is in the shoulders, right? So we have the opportunity to keep reaching the arms back. Warrior 1 is a really beautiful, strong pose. You got to work it though, right? The inhales, we're touching the ceiling and we're moving mobility through those shoulders. The exhales, we're engaging through that lower body. We're turning that right hip. We're dropping down through that left seat. So there's a lot of work to be had in these poses. You can find a lazy warrior 1, or you can find a real strong, bring it on your mat warrior 1. Left arm's going to reach out. Right arm's going to come under. We're in eagle or modified. So modifying, you can bring those elbows together. Either way, you're going to be doing some work here. So we're lifting those elbows out of the chest. On the inhales, I want you to lift those elbows further away from the floor. We're staying engaged through the abdominals the whole time. That right glute is staying on. And we're doing the work. We're building the heat. We're bringing up the energy. We're smoking it. We're still driving that right hip. And then we're going to pivot onto the ball of that back foot. So go ahead and hop it up. And hop it up enough so where you know that you can get those 2 hips like headlights out in front of you. We'll bring the right knee close to the floor, as close as you can bring it. We're going to tuck up through the through the hips a little bit, and those arms aren't resting, right? Those arms aren't resting, Mare. We're driving those arms up nice and strong. Abdominals are staying on, so it's easy to kind of like take a little break. That's why I'm here to beat you up. And now we're going to keep that lower body strong as we go through the lunge for 8. Yeah, every one counts. 7, so get detailed about it. 6, yeah. 5, bring the most into it. 4, we're going to ring it out here. 3, so if you're doing it right, you should be shaking for 2. Hopefully you got a little quiver going on. Let's pause here. We're going to lean forward, so we're just hinging at the hips. She's going to use power off the ball of that back foot. Yeah, let's pop it up, hop it up. Now, lower body's in warrior 3, so you got to drive the ball of that standing foot down. We're going to turn that right hip down. She's got a strong, active glute, a high right leg where she's doing the work. There's length here. Upper body's going to find warrior 3. Let's unravel and reach it out, and then keep turning that right hip shining down. Arms are going to lift because warrior 3 is badass too. Let's lift up the limbs. So the arms get high, the right leg's lifting. We're creating and we're reaching for 5. Stretch it out. 4, 3. Own it on this one for 2. The feet meet together, chair pose. Drop the squat. Squeeze the thighs. Work those insides of your feet together. Yeah, let the thighs feed off of each other for 5. She's in a deep squat, so that's really nice. You're going to drop just as low as you can go. For 4, 3. For 2, forward fold. Let's dive in. Get yourself nice and long. So we're folding. And then halfway lift, we'll breathe in here. Find your high plank. Yeah, let's bring your right wrist under your shoulder. And we're going to stagger first. I want you to stagger your top foot in front of your bottom. So this will be the modification. If you need to, you'll keep one foot in front of the other. If you feel, and we're going to lift that right hip. So we're getting inside that right oblique. We're inside the lats. We're up inside that shoulder. If you feel stronger, you'll stack your top foot on top of your bottom foot. And we're going to flex your toes in. So now she's in a stronger side angle plank. That's gorgeous. Right here. And now I want your chin to be where your neck feels good. So you can be looking down, you can look forward, whatever feels better for your neck. Merrily, we're going to find a 4 count to lift your left leg up. Let's go slow for 4. Take it up. 3, keep lifting that hip. 2, yeah, so that left leg is nice and high. There's energy through that ankle. We're going to find a 4 count out to the side for 4. For 3, excellent. For 2, we're going to tap the inside of that foot to the floor. And then we'll pick it up and hold it for 4. Let's touch it down easy. Find the lift for 3. Take the tap. Lift it strong for 2. One more time, we'll take it up. Stack the feet back together. Come on into your high plank. That's excellent. That's a really strong one, guys. That's a hard one. Let's come down onto the forearms. We're in a forearm plank position. Yeah, and we're going to turn your right fist into your left elbow. And then we're going to stack that left foot or stagger again. So the lower body can be, and we're going to turn your hips like headlights straight out in front of you. And we're going to lift that right hip. So we're driving down through that forearm. We're inside of that right oblique. We'll bring your left fingertips behind your head. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, it's a 4 count, left elbow to your right arm. For 4, turn it in. 3, she's rotating. For 2, we're going to stay right here because that's where the work is. Now we're going to open it up. For 4, find the lift. 3, 2, stay here and lift that right hip away from your mat. Breathe in. As you exhale, we're going to twist it. Here we go. For 4, rotate it. 3, the whole torso. 2, yeah, we're tucking in and holding. Let's open it up. For 4, fantastic. 3, lift that hip up. 2, it looks real strong. Forearm plank. Nicely done. So here's a nice time. Palms come on up into your high plank. To come into child's pose and chill out. So let's take a break. It's nice to come into home base, child's pose, and it's here for you every single practice. You can come into child's pose 150 times. So if you're new to my practice, if you're not someone who comes and takes my class, and you're watching this right now, if you're new, child's pose is the place to go. And you can come here over and over and over again and start to slowly build up. You will get stronger. You will certainly start to flow, but you got to stick with it. We're in downward facing dog. Let's get long. Bend the knees and make your way up to the front of your mat. Let's find a lift halfway. Feet come together. We're breathing in as you exhale. Forward fold, chair pose. We're going to drop down into the seat. Palms pressed to the heart center. We're breathing in as you exhale, edge of the right elbow. We're working the outside edge of your left knee. So even out the kneecaps. That one kneecap, that opposite kneecap wants to get in front of the other. So pull it back. Yeah, and then drop your seat. So load up those legs. Again, chair pose. You can rest in it and get real lazy, or you can be real strong. I want the thighs squeezing. I want the squat low, and we're working the edge to rotate through the torso. So we're finding a flat back to me and a squared chest out to the front of where you are. Right hand is going to drop, and the left arm finds the reach. Let's open it up. So sometimes it's really nice to bring your fingertips out in front of your big toes. Try that, Mary. Yeah, and shoulder to shoulder. And you can control the hips a little more so that right hip tucks in. Yeah, and we're rolling back through the left rib cage for 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's come up into a seated squat with your wrist in line with your shoulder. So arms will be straight out in front of you on this one. Yes. We'll heel toe the feet apart so the heels are under the hips. And we're going to tuck the pelvis a little bit here. And then let's go ahead and peel up onto the balls of the feet. We're going to lift the heels up nice and high. So once those heels lift, yeah, we're going to lift the chest up nice and tall. And then once the chest lifts, we're going to drop the seat down to a place where you feel it the most in your quads, but not where you're resting. So that's a little tricky because sometimes you can get to a place where it feels like you can just rest. Don't go there. Get right before you get there. And then we're just going to find a little lift up and a little lower down. And then it's a little lift. We're controlling it. And a little bit low. And then we'll find a little lift. And we'll lower it. That's real nice. A little lift. And then find the low. Lock the thumbs together. Let your palms shine to the floor. And now we're going to lift and lower. And we're going to speed that up. For 8, 7, 6, we're burning through the quads. 5, 4, we're working through it. 3, it looks fantastic. 2, let the heels drop. Heel toe the feet together. Back into your chair pose. Yeah, bring the hands to the heart center. We're breathing in. As you exhale, edge of the left. We're working the outside edge of the right knee, and we're pulling that left kneecap back. Yes. And we're keeping the hips nice and even. And then as we breathe in, we're lifting the torso. As we exhale, we're dropping into the seat. And we're rotating open. Left fingertips drop. Let's bring them out in front of your toes, shoulder to shoulder. We're going to drop down through the seat. Yeah, so on the inhales, we're extending up. On the exhales, we're bringing the rib cage to shine. Yes, fantastic. Forward fold. Let's dive in. Halfway lift. We'll lengthen. Find your high plank. Let's just hold a plank position. Let's stay here. Tuck up through the pelvis. Let's breathe the plank. Close your eyes for a moment. We're strong in it. Chest is coming away from the floor. Triceps are engaged. Thighs are strong. Left wrist is under the shoulder. We'll crack the eyes open. Right foot stacks or staggers. So you can choose to do either one. If you're stacking, it's going to be stronger. We're flexing the toes in. We're lifting that hip. We're actively lifting that hip away from the floor the whole time we're here. So it's a constant focus on using the obliques, using the upper body. It's a 4 count for that top leg. Let's do it together. Let's take it up for 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold it up nice and high, keeping the toes flexed in strong. Breathe in. As you exhale, let's bring it out to the side to me for 4. Slow it down. 3. We're getting inside hip mobility right now. Tap the edge of that foot to the floor. If you're tired, just leave it there. If you feel stronger, pick it up for 4. Tap it down for 3. So maybe your foot's in the floor the whole time. For 2, that's beautiful. You'll get stronger. Maybe your left knee's in the floor to modify. Let's take it back and stack it. We're in a high plank to your forearm plank position. Let's come down nice and slow. Forearm plank, yeah. And we'll bring that left fist into your right elbow. And we're going to stack those feet or stagger. And we're going to bring your right fingertips behind your head. Let's take a moment here and square those hips to me so they're like headlights. Yeah. So you got to really use the obliques to actively turn those hips and keep them that way. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, it's a 4 count to twist it. For 4, we're rotating. For 3, we're inside. For 2, we're going to hang on to that crunch. Let's open it up slow. For 4, the slower you go. 3, the harder you're working. For 2, yeah, let's lift that hip. Breathe it in. As you exhale, let's find the twist. For 4, tuck it in tight. For 3, turn it more. For 2, keep the twist on. Let's open it up. For 4, for 3, for 2, 1 palm at a time. We're in a high plank position. Chaturanga, we're down nice and slow. 4 little push-ups, because why wouldn't you? 4, 3, I'm not doing the practice. 2, up dog, we're breathing in. Child's pose, we're chilling out. Relax, release, breathe in and out. And we're in a long dog, downward facing dog right here. Right leg lifts, right foot lunges, left foot turns. Let's come on up into warrior 1. So we'll reach up nice and strong. So find your energy in warrior 1. I want you to engage through that back glute, but I want you to turn that left hip forward. Yeah, square your chest to the front wall. Yeah, as you breathe in, you're touching the ceiling. As you exhale, you're reaching your thumbs back. Yeah, getting more and more of that mobility through the shoulder. So keep that warrior 1 active and strong. Warrior 2 is where we open the pelvis. Now we let this guy peel back. Warrior 2, we're still back leg loaded. So I want you to feel through the edge of that left foot. Shoulders are going to drop down a little bit, but the shoulder blades are going to pull together nice and strong. Chin is where the neck feels good. Right palm flips to the sky. Let's stay here. So right palm shining high, and we're going to straighten that front leg. So now we have 2 straight legs. We're going to pull up through that right quad. And if I had a rope and I was going to pull your wrist out, go ahead and reach yourself out. Just your torso's coming out to the front wall. Yeah, gorgeous. We're just reaching out to the front wall. We're going to bring that top palm, that left palm, shoulder width distance over your right. So let that left arm find the reach. Yeah, now we're going to create the work inside the obliques where we just were in our previous poses. We're squeezing up through that right quad. Now I want you to reach out and extend and lengthen. We're going to square the chest a little bit towards the sky, and then we're going to lift up 1 inch towards the ceiling. And as we lower down, we're going to touch the wall. Reach it out. Yeah, then we're going to lift up 1 inch, and then we're going to reach it out a little further. Stay on the reach, and then we'll find the lift. And then I want you to reach a little bit further, hold it out here. Let's find 1 little lift, and then go ahead and reach it out and extend it out and keep reaching for 5. Yeah, gorgeous. Keep extending and lengthening for 4. Keep feeling and burning for 3. For 2, catch a piece of that shin. Let your left arm stay to the sky. We're in triangle pose, and we'll open back through the pec. Let's breathe here. 5, 4. 3, 2, we're going to bend that front knee, warrior 2, come on up. Right palm flips, we'll breathe it in, and as you exhale, reverse the warrior, and I just want you to come right up over the rib cage. Don't jam on your low back. A lot of times, people have a tendency to just reach way back there and then press on that lumbar. So we're trying to stay out of that. We're coming up out of the ribs. For 5, we're keeping a nice seat. We're keeping that 90-degree angle here from the hip to the knee, from the knee to the ankle. And then there's a lot of energy in a cartwheel flow. Come on into your high plank. And chaturanga, let's come on down. And then turn your left knee out to the left side wall and open through that inner thigh. Let's just hold this. Keep lifting that left leg. 5, 4, yeah. 3, 2. Let's switch sides. Turn that right knee out. Let's drop those shoulders. Yeah, keep that right inner thigh lifted. Take a step back, up dog. Let it feel good. Downward facing dog. We'll find the exhale. Left leg gets high. Left foot lunges, right foot turns. We're up strong in your best. Warrior 1. So warrior 1 is bringing that heart rate up. We're stretching the thumbs back. We're squaring that right hip forward. We're loaded through that back leg. So don't let that right knee buckle in. I really want you to press through the edge of that foot so you have a strong back thigh. And that left knee is turning out a little bit towards the baby toe. So don't let that left knee buckle in as well. We're getting inside that adductor. So on the inside of your inner thigh. You're doing the work. She's strong in it. Warrior 2, let's open it up. So we'll peel back through that right pelvis, and then the shoulders will drop and the shoulder blades will come together. But the arms have such active energy. There's electricity that's running through the fingertips. We're still working through that adductor right here. Left palm's going to flip. So the left palm is up. Let's breathe in. And then as you exhale, straighten that front leg. Yeah, we'll pull up through that thigh. And we're going to lift up through the breastbone here. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, let's come out. Yeah, just through the torso. Reach it out a little bit and let that right palm come overhead. Yeah, gorgeous. Now, with a nice flat back and strong glutes and the length, I want you to turn your rib cage a little bit and then find energy of the extension through the front wall. Yes, and then we'll take a little lift. Go ahead and lift it up. And then as you lower down, reach out and touch that front wall. And then it's a little lift up. And then go ahead and lower down and reach it out a little more. Yeah, and then there's a little lift there. And then we're going to lower and extend out just a tiny bit more. And then there's a little lift. Now let's hold it here. Don't drop it, but breathe it for 5. Keep the reach on. 4, 3, looks amazing. For 2, catch a piece of it. Triangle pose feels so good. We're going to open up. You can let your chin look down and relax through your neck and let your right ribs breathe. So this is your moment to relax into it a little bit. We're not letting everything go, but just let it feel good. Into Warrior 2, we'll drop the seat, slide the right foot back, shoulder blades drop, left palm flips again. We're breathing in. As you exhale, don't lean in the low back. I just want you to come up out of the rib cage. Yeah. Keep a strong back leg. 5. Remember the inhales. Find the energy to come up out of it. The exhales. Yep, we drop and squeeze. 4, 3. For 2, cartwheel flow through to your high plank. Chaturanga, let's lower down, slow and easy. Up dog. On the inhale, pull the shoulder blades back. Downward facing dog. Take your right hand outside of your left knee, slide it to your ankle if that feels better. We're going to twist on it, let it feel good. Body weight shifts a little bit to the right so that your heels get even, but we're using the right arm strength to pull because we're nice and warm now. So we have that opportunity to really go deeper into the stretch. Let's switch sides. Left hand's going to catch on. A few breaths. The exhales pull a little stronger. Body weight shifts a little bit to that opposite side so the heels get even, but we keep working through the breathe in. 4, 3. For 2, find your long dog, downward facing dog. Yeah. Bend the knees and make your way up to the front of your mat. Let's lift halfway. We're breathing in. As you exhale, forward fold. We're going to take it tight. On the inhale, drop the seat. We're coming up nice and strong. Chair pose, squeeze the thighs. And then reach the arms into a V. So go ahead and open up the chest. And just pick up your right foot so your right thigh comes up into your chest. So we're driving into that single leg here where that thigh comes high up. Drive it up into your chest. Flex your toes in. Let your upper back get nice and tall. Yeah, and then catch the knee. Grab the knee and just hug it up into your chest. And if it's available, catch the foot. So one hand on either side of that foot. We're going to drop the seat a little bit. If it's available, straighten that leg. Let your toes flex back. And then lift that leg up. Lengthen through your spine. We're just breathing into that right hamstring. For 5, we're working the challenge of the balance. 4, 3. Let those elbows bend, Mare. Yeah, for 2. And then chair pose, drop the seat. Upper back is tall. So at this point, you should be really tired, guys, and the poses should start to feel like a bigger challenge. Drive your left thigh up into your chest. If you're working it, catch that knee. And it's not to say that you have to bring 100%. If you're new, bring 10% into it. Catch that foot. But know that if you've been doing this practice, get your sweat on. Get in there. Lift that leg up. Yeah, so you want to breathe it. And when you catch that foot, I really want you to lift your upper back too. So get your chest nice and tall. 5, 4, flex your toes in. 3, 2, and then drop that foot, stand tall and shake it all out. Let's come on up. Shake your legs out, shrug and roll your shoulders back. Take a moment right here to just let it all run through your body. So we're going to come up to the front of your mat with your block, easy access. So bring your block out in front of you just so that you know that it's there for you and you can reach it. And then we'll stand tall and we'll reach your right arm up to the sky. And we'll bring your left hand back behind you. And we're going to take the inside, the big toe side. If it's available, I want you to take that big toe side. If you're out here, you get less flexibility, mobility through that shoulder. So see if you can tuck it on the inside. Right arm's going to find the reach here. And all we're going to do is we're going to stand up tall, stay tall. And all we're going to do is just bring your left leg, don't fold forward, but bring your left leg behind your right, just as far as it'll go without folding forward. So we're just going to be inside that left quad. And then let's breathe in and touch the ceiling. As you exhale, we're going to reach out and we're going to lower all the way down to your block. So we're going to let your fingertips find your block. You could keep it as high as you need it. And we're going to just roll open through your left shoulder, your left rib cage, and start to kick that heel away from the body. So now we're working our own stretch through the energy of your back leg. You're kicking that foot as strong as you can. We're pulling through a warm left shoulder right here for 5. That looks great. 4, 3, for 2. Now very slowly, we're going to reach your right middle finger out to the front wall. Hang on to that foot, dancer's pose. Let's find the reach. We're going to keep the kick for 5. Yeah, keep extending, keep kicking it back for 4, keep feeling. For 3, for 2, chair pose, drop the squat. Nice, beautiful. Then we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet and bring your arms out in front of you. So let your wrist drop down, heels are high, and we're going to find a little march right here. So just lifting one little foot up at a time for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep the heels lifted, keep the squat, and let's find 8 little squats for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stand tall and shake it all out. Shake the legs out. Roll the shoulders back. Excellent. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we're going to reach up nice and tall with that left arm. Let your right hand take the inside of your right foot. Let's stay right here. So find your dristi. The dristi is that one thing that you're looking at that's not moving, that's out in front of you, that's going to help you with your balance. So connect to one thing that's not moving. All I want you to do before you hinge forward is bring your right leg back away from your left. So if you were looking at yourself in a mirror, you could see both of your legs. We're breathing into that quad. Let's touch the sky. Breathe in, and as you exhale, take the slow fold and find your block with your fingertips. So nice and easy. We'll catch that block. Yep, we'll move it under the shoulder. We're going to stay light on it. Let's roll open. So now we're going to kick back. Yeah, we're going to breathe in, inside of that whole right side for 5. She's kicking strong. There's energy through the heel for 4. Let's breathe it. 3, for 2, in slow motion. The left middle finger is going to come straight out to the wall in front of you. Yeah, we're going to work the dancer's pose. We're still now, once you get that balance, we're working the pose by kicking and breathing. We're reaching. There's a lot of energy in it for 5. Bring it in, ring it out for 3. Toes are going up overhead towards the ceiling for 2. Chair pose. Feet come together. Let's drop the seat. We're breathing in. As you exhale, forward fold. Dive in tight. Halfway lift. We'll breathe in here. Find your high plank. Chaturanga. We're down slow and easy. Up dog on the breath in. Pull it together. Downward facing dog with a high right leg. Sweep your right knee to your right wrist. Work your right ankle to your left. Slide your left knee back. Stack your shoulders nice and tall. So on this one, we'll go straight out in front of us. But let's take a moment right here. So we're stacked. Let's do a little quad stretch. So you can reach back with the same hand or opposite hand to foot and go into the quad. So right here, once you catch your foot, or maybe you're using a strap, I just want you to close your eyes. Yeah, and breathe in. We're starting to bring it down. So close your eyes and start to neutralize a little bit. And then easy release of the foot. Let's go ahead and walk yourself straight out in front of you, letting that left hip drop down. So there's many ways that you could be in this pose. You can cross your arms and let your head drop onto your forearms. You can reach your fingertips all the way out to the front wall. You can thread your left arm under your right and reach your right arm overhead if that feels good through your shoulder. And then just let yourself, and you can let your fingertips drop to the floor or on a block, and just let yourself melt into the floor. So now we're starting to let the work that we've done run through. And then we're going to lift just the torso. Keep the lower body where it is. We're going to bring the upper body slightly to the right. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let yourself fold here where that left hip is turning in towards your right heel. And again, you can work the pose. So Marilee's working the floor a little bit, or you can relax into the pose. So you choose what feels better. And then we'll come on into your down dog. And then let's go ahead and bring your knees down under your hips. Bring your wrists back under your shoulders. We're going to stay up onto the toes here. And then we're going to lift the knees up just a little bit. And we're going to bring your left foot under your right shin. We're going to keep your left wrist under your shoulder. Take your right hand and grab your left rib cage. And then slowly, I want you to take the turn. So I want you to pull on your rib cage and lift up through your hips right now. So keep pulling on the ribs. We're driving the hips away from the floor. Chin is where the neck feels good. Right arm's going to drive up to the sky. So keep your glutes on here. We're pushing away from the floor. And then let your right fingertips come over your head. Find a long reach. Let yourself get pulled out here for 5. Hips are high. Feet are in line with your hips. Toes are straight out. 4, 3, glutes are squeezing. It's a slow motion return. So I want you to turn yourself back, down onto the knees. Take your left arm and thread it under your right. Drop into that left shoulder. Yeah, and then bring your right hand outside of your left hip and roll open through that right side. And then close your eyes and let your breath come back to you. And then come on into your downward facing dog. And we're just going to breathe right here in your dog. If you're tired, bend your knees a lot. If it feels good, straighten your legs and let the warm hamstrings just open up. Left leg lifts. Sweep your left knee up towards your left wrist. Bring your left ankle up towards your right. Stay in touch with how that left knee feels. We're going to sit up nice and tall here. So we're driving through that left shin down into the floor. We're going to take a quad stretch, nice and easy. So if you need to put a block under that left glute, you can slide a block under there. If you need a little help, we'll catch that foot. And now let's just keep the eyes closed and breathe into that right quad. And we're always going to be very loving in the release of the pose. So release the foot down. Don't let your toes slam to the floor. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, we'll take it straight out in front. Yeah, and you can drop all the way down. If you threaded on one side, thread it on the other. So if you took a shoulder through, then you'll take it here on the other side. And now is the time to really just let the weight of your body be heavy into the floor. And then we'll press up easy through the upper body. Keep the lower body where it is. Upper body's going to come slightly left. We'll find that big breath in. And as you exhale, let's fold it here. So we're dropping down and letting go. And then let's press into your down dog. Sweep that left leg back. We'll bring the knees under the hips, wrists are under the shoulders. We're up onto the toes. And then we're going to lift those knees. And we're going to take that right foot under your left. Bring your right wrist under your shoulder first. Grab your rib cage. We're taking a slow turn. So look at your feet, guys, and get them in line, right? Really line it up. And then, so I want your heels and your hips to be in line with each other. And we're using that lat. So push yourself away from the floor, strong with your right arm and your right upper back, your right shoulder. Keep lifting the hips up. And then let your left arm come to the sky. And we're going to lift the hips a little higher. Squeeze the glutes a little stronger. Breathe in as you exhale. Let that arm reach overhead. Let your chin go where the neck feels good. And imagine someone's grabbing your wrist. They're going to pull you. Strong lower body staying on. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slow motion release on this one. So when you take it back nice and easy, come into your down dog. And then float your feet to or through your hands. We're going to take a seat into the floor. We're going to lie all the way back into the floor. So go ahead and lie back. And let's lift your feet up and cross your right knee over your left. Yeah. And then we'll bring your arms out to the side and we'll find a breath in. And as you exhale, lower body's coming easy to your left. Let it drop into the floor. Reach out through your fingertips. Relax through your spine. And then we'll come back center, reverse the cross, left over the right, full breath in. As you exhale, easy to the right side. And then let's come back center for happy baby. So we'll unravel and catch the feet, drive the thighs outside of your rib cage. Stack your ankles on your knees, find a strong pull down. And then let's find a wide straddle. So extend the legs up in a wide straddle and slide your hands under your knees and straddle your legs out straight, nice and wide. And then just pull back with your arm strength. We're keeping your low spine in the floor. We're flexing the toes in. We're pushing down through your abdominals. Yeah, and we're pulling back a little bit more on each exhale so we could feel inside the warm legs. And then we're going to find butterfly pose. So let's bring the soles of the feet together in the floor. Let your knees drop out to the side. Bring your arms where it feels good. We're going to breathe in to the psoas so the hips are nice and warm. Just let the weight of your knees kind of drop to the floor. Let your shoulder blades drop into the floor right now. We're relaxing through the face. Let go through your teeth if they're clenched together. Relax through your eyeballs. Let the weight of your head drop into the floor too. And then we're going to straighten the legs out. Let your right leg straighten a little bit to the right and the left leg a little bit to the left. We'll let the back of the knees drop into the floor. Release and relax through the pelvis. And this is your opportunity right here to move your mind space into gratitude. Everything that comes into your mind is only about the things that you feel thankful for. We're going to flush everything else out. See if you can stay here for another 5 minutes for yourself in thoughts of gratitude. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.